When a game has as big a character roster as Persona 5 The Phantom X, it's only natural to look for an easy ranking of which characters are the best, especially if you're a free-to-play character who needs to know where to spend their limited resources. While almost every character can be useful under the right circumstances, we've put this tier list together considering how reliable each character is in a variety of situations, and how good they are at getting you through Persona 5 X's toughest challenges. As the poster boy for Persona 5, it's no surprise that Joker is far and away one of the best characters in the game. His damage output is second to none, and with powerful multi-target attacks that are easily buffed by other characters. Plus, his Will of Rebellion ability can consistently grant him 2 actions per turn, effectively doubling the amount of damage he can do, making him a solid S tier character. Panther is the only character in the current version of the game who can give Joker a run for his money in terms of pure damage output. Fire is a brilliant offensive element thanks to the ability to inflict burn, and Panther's hidden abilities and awareness levels only push her offensive capabilities further. She deals huge damage to all enemies at once, and when her La Vie en Rose ability activates, it can end fights in an instant. She's another easy pick for S tier. Mona is currently the only character with the ability to revive KO'd allies during battle, and that alone is enough to earn him this higher ranking. On top of that, he is a solid party-wide healer, and his Morgana's Favour ability can be a lifesaver. Plus, he has a decent bit of offensive power if you need that, and that lands him in A tier. It's hard to find anything bad to say about Skull. He has a mix of physical and electric skills that can deal a lot of damage to his enemies, and he has the rebound ability to hit back whenever a foe strikes him. The problem is there are other units like Fox and Soy that do his job better than him, as Skull can't taunt his foes. He's a solid unit, but that downside knocks him to B tier. When it comes to inflicting debuffs, no one's better than Rin. She can tear down the defences of even the sturdiest opponents, increasing their damage taken while she's at it. Pairing her with Joker makes for a damn near unstoppable combo, and that's why she sits up in S tier right alongside him. Some players swear by Riddle as a good character, but we just don't see it, as she's spread too thin to be reliable. Her Childish Heart system can be good in longer battles, but it takes a fair bit of setup for the damage boost to be worth it. Meanwhile, her Ready for Adventure ability focuses on buffing healing and shield gains instead, but as she doesn't have any healing skills herself, you'll have to give away another party slot to make use of it. We see the potential, but it just doesn't click, which is why we're putting her in C tier. Bui has received a bit of a buff from the Chinese version of the game, but it's still not enough to make her a top tier unit. Her ability to perform follow-up attacks is nice, but with a 45% chance to trigger, it just isn't reliable. That said, if it's a long fight where you can set her up with her Player 2 ability, the extra damage she does can come in clutch, so she just about makes it into B tier. Miriam may drop a little as more healers are added to the game, but as of right now she is untouchable. Her base healing ability grants a big heal and blessing to 2 allies at once, letting the entire party start regenerating HP in just 2 turns. And once you've built up diagnosis stacks, she can pull the entire party from being on death's door to completely healthy with a snap of her fingers. She's S tier without a doubt. The fact that Fox can act as both a tank and a sweeper unit makes him very useful indeed. He can buff his defences while taunting enemies in preparation to unleash powerful counterattacks on the whole field at once. While this won't save you from multi-target attacks, the damage Fox deals in response is worth having him around. A solid A-tier ally if ever there was one. Queen is a powerful single-target attacker that gets actively enhanced by the other attackers in her party. The nuke element is fantastic on offense thanks to technical damage that comes from foes with ailments, and Queen is built around making these buffs even more powerful. Pair her up with an attack buffing character like Leon, and you have an S tier party member on your hands. Moving on to the 4-star characters, Cattle is a solid early game unit that quickly gets outclassed by everything else you'll be pulling. His healing and attack buffing skills are useful, and he can shine on a fire-based team, but chances are you'll quickly have other characters who can fill his role better. Still, he's good enough to deserve a spot in B tier. Closer is solid, but as the updates roll on and more characters come out, she's going to get more and more outclassed. That said, she's currently the most reliable source of electric damage you'll find, and her ability to inflict shock means that she can offer up some easy technical damage, so we're putting her in B tier. Soy is a tank that you can rely on. His ability to buff his own HP combined with higher chance of being targeted, plus taunt to make it certain, means there's very little chance of him going down if you pair him with a healer. Sometimes he may not even need that, as his Desperado ability lets him restore his own health after being attacked. A tier without a doubt. As Mont is the character you'll pull during the game's tutorial, you probably weren't expecting much from her, and that's a relatively fair assessment. She's capable of dealing solid damage, especially if the enemy is weak to ice, but to maximise her potential you have to play with her ice crystal system, which takes too long to build up, so she drops to C tier. Moko is a character we desperately wish were better, as Tomoko is easily one of the most endearing synergy bonds in P5X. However, she just isn't worth the effort. Her ability to inflict sleep may come in clutch once in a blue moon, but you can't rely on it. The same goes for her attack buffing skill, as it requires her to build up green leaf stacks to use. We wish it weren't so, but Moko is a D tier character. Leon is an unassuming character, and one that might be difficult to use, but he can be powerful once you understand him. As his allies' HP drops, he's able to boost their attack while moving HP around the party to grant shields. All of the top tier attacking characters will benefit from Leon's presence, so he earns a solid spot in A tier. Yuki has all the right ideas, but they don't quite come together. The fact she can grant shields and defense buff to her allies is very useful, however she fails to stand out, as her oath ability is granted at random at the start of the battle, or has to be assigned through another ability, meaning you can't direct her most powerful buffs to the allies who need them most. She can use them when paired up with a character like Fox, but her use cases are pretty niche, which is why we've put her in C tier. Anything Ki can do, Panther can do better, which means there's pretty much no reason to ever use Ki unless you're putting an all-fire team together. He's slightly better at inflicting burns on enemies, but that just isn't worth the trade-off for the ridiculous damage Panther can do compared to him. It means that D tier is really the only place he can live. Fleuret earns a lot of points thanks to currently being the only wind-based attacker, as wind is one of the most useful offensive elements thanks to the wind swept status condition that weakens enemies. On top of that, Fleuret's right to strike system will mean that the longer the fight goes on, the more powerful he'll get, letting you deal more damage than most 4-star units can dish out, which earns him a solid spot in A tier. Sepia is outclassed by just about every other attacker in the game. Even if you're desperate for curse damage and don't have Joker or Rin on your roster, you'd probably be better off getting a curse-based persona for Wonder and using that instead. He fills the same role as a lot of the best characters in the game, which means there just isn't room for him. D tier is what it has to be. If you're looking for the best navigator, then you're gonna have to wait until Futaba is added to the game, but Archean is a decent substitute in the meantime. Her attacking buffs can be very useful in tough fights, though there are already plenty of characters that fill that role, making her less useful compared to other navigators. She's still a solid B tier though. One thing the current P5X roster lacks is defensive buffs and shield gaining abilities, which is entirely what Puppet focuses on. Stacking her defensive buffs with what few others are available will keep your team in a tough fight a lot longer than having more firepower will. Eventually, other navigators will come along and dethrone Puppet, but right now, she's an S tier unit. So that's our final ranking of every unit in P5X. Did we overrate any characters? Or perhaps we put your favourite too low? Let us know what you think in the comments below.